Jacoby was gonna tell my boss that I sexually harassed him.
Well, did you?
Wednesday,
I told Gary I was meeting the girls.
You trust me, right?
when you spin a web of lies
I was a little surprised you called me.
Just make yourself comfortable.
and taste forbidden fruit,
I'm a dancer.
be careful, because eventually, everyone gets caught.
You're being sued. And she's naming all of us as accomplices.
What?
Tyler Perry's Sistas, all new
All right, Sistas fans, hope everybody's doing well. They finally released a trailer for next week's episode. Season 3, Episode 8, Little White Lies, airing July 28th. Now, before breaking it down, make sure you take a moment to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. I'll be covering the trailer you just saw, as well as the end credit teaser we got at the end of the last episode. Now, the overall theme based on the narrator's dialogue is when you spin a web of lies and taste forbidden fruit, be careful because eventually everyone gets caught. And just based on the title, Little White Lies, I'm thinking of, you know, Andy not telling Gary about going on that dinner meeting with Robin. Fatima telling Hayden to come over to reconcile, but then she also invited Zach over. Sabrina may or maybe not going along with Maurice's strategy of fighting fire with fire by saying that, you know, Jacoby raped her because he's going to be pulling the sexual harassment charges. And I don't know about what Danny's doing. And not to mention the whole forbidden fruit, like Andy messing around with Gary. Everybody gets caught, aka Jasmine suing everybody up in here. So let's break it down. So Fatima is still over at Andy's apartment while Gary's moaning and groaning and grinding and whatnot. And Andy's like, wait, tell me what I need. Tell me what I need to know so I know what's going on, because Fatima's like, come home and change. Andy gets home and she's standing outside of the door. Here's the same stuff Fatima was, because Fatima's hiding behind the corner. And Andy goes, oh, hell no. So, you know, Andy walks up in there. We see her slightly open the door and we see Gary's leg like he's sitting up. Seems like there's some sort of understanding as to what went on, because I did a separate video theorizing that either he was listening to porn or he was on the phone with his therapist, but he wasn't in there cheating on Andy with another woman. Now, Andy in the voiceover says, I told Gary that I'm going to meet with the girls. And it's like, you trust me, right? And it's kind of like, well, my guess is that Andy's like, I'm going out with the girls. However, she doesn't tell him about the Carlisle Hotel meeting, dinner, if you will, with Robin. And speaking of Robin, when Andy's in her second location for happy hour, Robin's actually there as well. He walks up to her because you see Karen sitting down where Robin walks up. So it looks like, you know, Robin is going to happy hour too and sees Andy there. So, all right. So, you know, while they're having their dinner, Robin says Andy has a beautiful smile, and she's like, so do you. And I'm like, man, Andy, you know, Andy. So we go over to Hayden coming over to Fatima's spot, and Fatima's like, come on, get comfortable. And he's all, wow, I'm surprised you called me over. And, you know, he's trying to flirt with her as they're having drinks, and Zach walks in. Now, remember, she said be over there at 8:30, and this is probably a ploy in order to expose Hayden for kicking him out of Chain Breakers. But you know how Zach is. He's going to come in there all huffy and puffy, and it's not a good day for him to begin with. So we'll just have to wait and see. It looks like before Danny gets to the happy hour, Sabrina's probably there first and calls her to let her know about the whole Jacoby situation. It's like, yeah, he said I sexual harassed him. And then Danny's like, well, did you? And what's kind of interesting is the fact that Sabrina, while she's sitting there alone, there's a guy who looks like a Jacoby imposter. It looks like he's Jacoby, you know, the same build, hairstyle, almost the exact same tattoos in the same location. He approaches her and is like, hey, well, I'm a dancer. And I'm like, is this going to be a situation where Sabrina's going to use this to her advantage to possibly stage like an R. Kelly tape in regards to, like, you know, he came over to my place and I have video footage of him coming on to me and I said not to. So like it said, when you spin a web of lies, everybody's going to get caught. So if Sabrina tries something funky, she got Calvin to get a drug test. So without him knowing. So I feel like she'll do something like this and it's going to blow up in her face, pun intended. So from there, we go over to the final thing, and this is the girls all together for happy hour, and that's when Karen drops the bomb about Jasmine suing Andy and all the girls as being accomplices to, sabotaging her marriage. So with that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It looks like we're in for one heck of an episode next week. I definitely feel like the Jasmine the Jasmine lawsuit paperwork is probably going to be the cliffhanger ending of the episode. So, like I said before, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.